Trust, respect, family values. To some, these words may seem a bit cliche, but for Western Waterproofing, they were the foundation for which to build a great company. And after decades of quality work and innovation, relentless struggles during lean times, company and service expansion through acquisition, plus a lot of sweat and determination, Western's success still comes down to these family values instilled by George Bishop and Ben Maney more than a century ago.
We have got a wonderful business model. You know, we're really instrumental when it comes to taking care of problems on exteriors of buildings. As long as we continue to take care of the customer, do the right thing, the company will prosper for many more centuries.
Started with my uncle, Ben Maney, and after my dad got out of World War I, Ben Maney needed some help, so he said, "George, why don't you come to work for us?" And he did. So he started in 1920. They worked together for about 10 or 12 years. The Depression came along and they split up. Uncle Ben went to Chicago to run the Ironite Company, and Dad stayed in St. Louis to run the Western Waterproofing Company. They were waterproofing basements from the inside with Ironite, which was a trade name of a product that all the Western waterproofing companies use. St. Louis has always been our key and our hub, and I don't think you can find a building downtown or a major building we haven't worked on. It makes you proud. The waterproofing didn't really depict what we were doing, so we changed our name to try to more closely reflect the work that we actually do.
The business has evolved. I would say in the 50s, 60s, we started getting more into the concrete and masonry restoration. We got into some roofing. The masonry and the concrete is really where we've evolved, and it's really where we've grown.
I came in after high school. Well, I worked during vacation and everything. The first big job he put me on was renovating the Kings Highway Viaduct from Manchester up to the hill. I worked out on the job, mixing mortar, helping finish concrete.
I got out of the Navy in the fall of '55, and I started as a laborer. I was a salesman, I was a manager, I was a regional manager, president, chairman. So I've been around a long time.
I do remember being in grade school, sitting around with my friends, and everybody was like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I remember saying that I wanted to be a waterproofer. Most of them wanted to be a fireman or a policeman, but I always wanted to work here and enjoyed every minute of it.
I was getting ready to go to college, and I was always kind of an aviation nut. And so when it came time to go to college, you know, I had to make a choice which way did I want to go. I want to follow, you know, my dream of an immature young kid to become a pilot, or do I want to stay in a family business? And I chose to stay here at Western. Best choice of my life.
When the time came, I was started working in the field when I was going to college, and I did that for 4 summers and came here back to St. Louis for training. And then I found out I was going to Tampa, Florida as a new construction salesman.
We have done so many neat projects throughout the country.
Worked on the Cotton Bowl when we were restoring that, and I remember us working up at Notre Dame Stadium and Northwestern Stadium.
The United States Capitol Building, the Washington Monument, the Field Museum, the Transamerica Building, the Superdome, Forest Park area that's home of the World's Fair in 1904, the statue that's built on Staten Island that pays tribute to all the fallen police officers and firemen that had to deal with 9/11. The train station downtown, Busch Stadium 1, Busch Stadium 2, Busch Stadium 3.
The Epcot Center was just wrapping up, but I was part of that. It is basically an underground city. You look at it and you just go, wow. How did somebody design something like this? And then you go to it after it's done, and you would never know I was there because everything we did was below the surface. The Chrysler Building was built in the 30s, and basically the spire is 1,100 feet up in the air. And lightning had struck it so many times over the years, which created a real safety issue.
We took the spire off the top of the building, brought it down to the ground, fixed the spire, restored it, took it back up on the top, put it in place.
It's the satisfaction that you know that you really helped somebody, and you've helped preserve something.
Our clients recognize us as being a leader in the industry. We still feel there's a tremendous opportunity with our core business, and we want to continue to improve with our core business and make sure that all of our offices can provide those services to our customers.
We've moved out geographically over the course of the years.
Before we were in 15 cities, now we're in 30 cities. It's just a great place to work.
Our most important asset is our people. Our people enjoy working for a family company. Our family values, our core values are very strong here.
The highlights, of my career is the key cornerstone families that have really built Western Construction Group.
We've been blessed by always having a bunch of dedicated people that have the company's desires at heart as well as their own, and that's the whole key to our success.
Leadership and willingness to adapt to the times and committed, hard-working employees have been the keys to Western's stellar success, both past and present. And throughout these past 10 decades, many hard lessons were learned along the way. Today, after more than 100 years of perseverance and quality workmanship, Western has become the largest concrete and masonry specialty contractor in the U.S.
From local St. Louis projects to resurfacing skyscrapers across the nation, Western has set values, beliefs, and a business model that has worked since 1915. As the company celebrates its centennial, Western has become more than just a waterproofing company. It has evolved, offering a larger breadth of specialty services to a variety of industries. Today, Western has become the nation's largest specialty contractor in masonry, concrete repair, and facade restoration, waterproofing and specialty roofing in the United States.
To signify this milestone and to commemorate its centennial, Western Waterproofing Company, Brisk Waterproofing, HSP, NTW, Peoria Roofing, Western Roofing and Insulation, Western Restoration and Waterproofing, and Western Facades are now collectively known as Western Specialty Contractors. And though the company's name and brand may have changed, the legacy originally set forth by George Bishop and Ben Maney never will. Western Specialty Contractors. Confidence through performance.